I have never known a Hallmark Christmas film to be quite so intense as Finding Father Christmas. This is the 2015 film directed by Terry Ingram, written by David Golden and Robin Jones Gunn. And I didn't know this when I started watching it, but it's the first in a trilogy of films based on the same characters. And I'm not going to spoil anything here, but I will say it's one of the few Hallmark Christmas films where I genuinely didn't know how the issues in it would resolve itself. It still has the generic Hallmark Christmas blueprint of girl meets boy, will they, won't they, there's a cozy cottage and there's a problem surrounding Christmas. But I just feel like I desperately needed to know the answer to this problem. And towards the end, I will kind of discuss that in a kind of pussyfoot way. I won't give any spoilers. But the film itself is about a character called Miranda, played by Erin Krakow. She's done quite a few of Hallmark's films. I've seen some of them, really enjoy her work. This one is no exception. And the love interest is Ian, played by Niall. He works in the inn that his parents run, Katherine and Andrew. And that's obviously the inn where Miranda stays. And she's gone to Vermont from Seattle to try and find out the identity of her father, because all she has is a photograph of somebody she suspects might be her father. She's not sure, she doesn't know, it could be completely unrelated, but she has to find out for herself. And she goes there and begins to unpick things, and obviously as the film develops, the clues begin to unravel, and there are suspicions about certain things, and I can't really say any more than that because I don't want to give the game away. But I will say that it was quite unclear in a good way. I was very much on the fence about what I thought sometimes, and certain characters' reactions to things that she said made me question my own thoughts about where the film was heading. So really thoroughly enjoyable and very entertaining, very, very festive. Carols galore. This has got one of my favourite soundtracks from a Hallmark film. Not just the Christmas songs, like the traditional Christmas songs. They're just, the backing music and everything. I really thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish, and I can't fault the film at all. Snow everywhere. Christmas decorations all over. We have horses pulling carriages and Santa Claus and children getting excited and talking about candy canes and hot chocolate. So we have a very festive Christmas film, a really gripping narrative, very likeable characters. I liked both Miranda and Ian. Often with a Hallmark film, I'll like one of the protagonists more than the other, and usually I like the love interest more than the female protagonist, because usually the female protagonist is on a journey of self-discovery where she's maybe quite bitter or in a bad headspace, and the male love interest helps her to find out things about herself and change her outlook. Not the case here. She is really nice. Not the biggest fan of Christmas for reasons that are revealed quite early on, but understandably so. She's not a Scrooge. It's quite different. Really thoroughly enjoyed this. Cannot wait to watch the other two. I haven't looked to see if the DVDs are readily available or on Prime. I'm a big fan of the Hallmark channel on UK Prime. Really love it. But hopefully very soon I'll be able to see that. It's fantastic. So the thing I was going to pussyfoot around is that I will say that once she decides what the answer to this problem is, I feel like she took it for granted without looking at any other possibilities. She looks at this picture of a man who, as I said, she thinks might be her father, or at least somebody important from her mother's past. She decides quite quickly that she believes it's a certain person, and I think she doesn't stay open-minded enough to other possibilities. And I did worry that it would ruin the ending and the way that it developed, but actually, in all, it was really enjoyable and a lot of fun. I think it might be one of my top 5 favourite Hallmark films. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Cannot fault it. Absolutely adore it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I promise your heart will melt.